George is there in Washington, of course, covering the State of the Union. Good morning, George.
Good morning, guys. Amy, I'm right behind you. I turned 30 next week.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Robin, it was a night of theater. It was a night of fireworks. There were some touching, emotional moments. You had the whole chamber singing happy birthday to a Holocaust survivor at one point, but there were also raw, hard politics, especially over the president's border wall. This was the first time the president addressed a divided Congress. The House was packed with dozens of new women and minority members, led by House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. You see her right there over the president's shoulder. Look at all those women right there, and looming over it all, the chance of another government shutdown. Our senior White House correspondent Cecilia Vega starts us off. And Cecilia, that deadline is coming fast.
George, just 9 days away from today, and no mention last night of the shutdown or the hundreds of thousands of federal workers impacted by it. But as you said, he did dig in on that main conflict, driving a wedge right now between both parties, his border wall. And while many Republicans were cheering, Democrats were not happy about it. President Trump making a call for unity in his State of the Union, a pitch for bipartisanship to a divided Congress.
We must reject the politics of revenge, resistance, and retribution, and embrace the boundless potential of cooperation, compromise, and the common good.
He dove right into his speech, bypassing the traditional introduction from the House Speaker, his chief political rival, Nancy Pelosi. Right there behind him, all eyes on her many expressions, like when Trump brushed off the Russia investigation.
An economic miracle is taking place in the United States, and the only thing that can stop it are foolish wars, politics, or ridiculous partisan investigations.
The Speaker rolling her eyes. In the chamber, a historically diverse Congress, a record number of women, many wearing white as a symbol of suffrage, staying seated during moments like this.
Members of Congress, the state of our union is strong. That sounds so good.
Though with this line about women's gains,
all Americans can be proud that we have more women in the workforce than ever before.
Roaring applause from both sides of the aisle.
Don't sit yet. You're going to like this. And exactly 1 century after Congress passed the constitutional amendment giving women the right to vote, we also have more women serving in Congress than at any time before.
Immigration, the main focus of the speech.
Wealthy politicians and donors push for open borders while living their lives behind walls and gates and guards.
Even with another shutdown looming, the president is still digging in on his border wall.
I will get it built. Simply put, walls work and walls save lives.
The family of a couple killed by an undocumented immigrant among the president's invited guests.
Year after year, countless Americans are murdered by criminal, illegal aliens.
In fact, studies show that immigrants commit fewer crimes overall compared to people born here. And nonviolent drug offender Alice Johnson, pardoned by the president after spending decades behind bars, brought to tears by his praise. The president also took credit for the state of relations with North Korea.
If I had not been elected president of the United States, we would right now, in my opinion, be in a major war with North Korea.
Despite his call for unity, Georgia Democrat Stacey Abrams, the first African-American woman to deliver a State of the Union rebuttal, laid blame squarely at the president's feet without ever mentioning him by name.
The shutdown was a stunt, engineered by the President of the United States, one that defied every tenet of fairness and abandoned not just our people, but our values.
Now, the president's State of the Union, an hour and 22 minutes long. That made for the third longest State of the Union in history. George, he also made some news on his upcoming visit with North Korea's Kim Jong-un. That will be his second visit. He says it will take place on February 27th and 28th in Vietnam.
Okay, Steve, thanks very much.